Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed Podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Oh man, we get into the discussion here and stuff, but I'm gonna say this and stuff while we're on air. Sometimes, if being a man, guys and stuff think that they have to be in charge of their partner, but us folks who've been with our partner for a long, long time understand that you can't control them. You can't control them, brother. There is no controller. If she's anything, if she is a woman and she got her mindset, you don't control them. You just give them they they room and just let them fly. You just leave them alone and let them do their thing. So younger guys out there who trying to control these women and stuff, you messing up. Now they might be there for just a little bit, but if she's about anything, she ain't gonna stay with you very long, brother. She's not gonna be there if you trying to control her. So you're gonna have to relinquish them and allow them to do what they want to do and what they do best, and be there with them. And when they say partner, that means a partner. It don't mean you're gonna beat them down. They're gonna follow you, and you're gonna make them do what you want them to do. When you That ain't gonna happen if you want to be there with them for a while. It's not going to happen. So I give my partner all the reign she want. She may take off and be gone for a day or two doing something and everything. It don't bother me. I said, hey, you go do what you go do. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. So word to the wise people. Well, to the males out there, to the men. Word to the wise. If you want to keep them for a while, don't try to hold them down. That's the worst thing that you can do. The absolute worst thing that you can do. So anyway, Mr. Harvey, you got anything else you want to say?
Well, I tell you, I'm all about business and following the money. And that's what I do. And I tell you, bro, the big conversation is what in the world is Trump going to do? So I just started doing my research and stuff. And, I don't want to get into detail, but it's about 2 or 3 stories that I want to comment on. And, this story that I read from by a guy named Greg, and the last name is spelled IP. I don't know how you pronounce that. But he has a regular column in his newspaper called Capital Account. And he claims that Trump can make strong growth or a smaller trade deficit his priority, or both. He can't do both. He can have a strong trade deficit, or he can have a stronger economy. Now, the trade deficit is one of the things that Trump keep on barking about, that he's going to use that money to, and he plans on, at least he plans on raising up the deficit, the trade tariffs to, especially China, 40, 50, maybe even 100%. And then the rest of the world as well, bring them up 10, 15, 20, 30%. We already know, and if anybody's been, reading the newspapers and listening to the news, that trade deficits will cost the American people. Now, this particular article was just focusing on that. And one of the people that he wants to put in as a Secretary of Treasury is for that, which is, his name is, and I've talked about him before in one of our sessions, Scott Bessent, Bessent. He's a hedge fund manager. He's also for Bitcoin, and Trump has a Bitcoin. And what the trade deficit would do will be actually smatter, the increase will smatter the economy. And but according to the markets, Trump's proposal on things that he wants to do will increase growth by 1.2%, which they're happy about that. And the reason why is because his tax cuts is going to go 21 to 15% for the corporate tax rate. They have already penciled in that he's going to bring the deficit another $8 trillion with his fiasco of not raising taxes, but decreasing taxes. Now, will the GDP go up? If you think about it, if your taxes, GDP is based on consumer index and growth. How much money is being spent? How much the government is receiving? How much product is being sold? If people can't, or they can afford it, but they don't buy it, some of the essentials you're going to have to buy to survive. But do I really need that piece of furniture today? No. Here I got a couch, I want to buy a couch and it costs $2,000, when 6 months ago or a year ago or 2 years ago it was $1,500. Well, I can keep that couch for a few more years, so it never gets purchased. And on and on. I just use that as a quick example. So you got to figure that, you just got to figure out that there are going to be some corporations, even though they're going to love those tax cuts, their production is not going to be that much. It's probably going to cut their production very, very hard, And most of these people, very few furniture companies in this country. A lot of them, they ban them from somewhere else. So that means they're going to put the price on. They buy them from Vietnam, or they buy them from China or somewhere else. And they're probably going to just put the price on us, and then therefore now they say furniture just sitting there. Yeah, you're getting a tax cut, but you ain't making no money. You ain't making no money. You made 10 million. Your revenue was $10 million last year. Now it's only $7 million. But you got a tax cut. So that's one story. So the point is that there will be some companies that's going to do very, very well. But there's going to be a lot of them when it comes to consumer products. It's going to be hurting. And it's going to hurt our GDP. It's going to hurt that's what you call inflation, because, or you're going to get staggered inflation, So we'll see. Time will tell. What you got? I got a couple more stories. I don't know if you want me to go on.
I'm heading off into a little bit different territory, a little bit of different area now, but it goes along with what the heck is going to happen here, and starting January 20th, when the criminal walks into the White House. He's already setting the stage for the people that he wants to have ready to go when he hits the front door. Now, he got a lot of grandiose ideas. Well, maybe not him, but the people who supported him and the people who are behind him right now have these grandiose ideas of what they're going to do. And my thing and stuff is what we going to do. I don't want to follow him. I want to be out in front. And I want to figure out a way how to get out in front of him. I want to be able to figure out, what am I going to do? And if we can figure this out, then we're going to be okay, because no matter what he does, we know what we want to do. What do we want to do? How do we want to live in 2024 and 2025? I want to find that out myself. And that's the research that I'm doing inside of my head. What do I want to do in 2025? And most people I know, they want to continue to grow. They want to continue to make money. They want to continue to live comfortably. So what do I need to do to live comfortably? I'm not going to worry about what he plan on doing. I want to worry about what I want to do, and then adjust my goals and stuff to whatever happens. Because I can see, Ted, it's going to be mass confusion January 20th. I can guarantee you it's going to be mass confusion come. What do we do? Get ourselves out there, and that's what I'm looking at right now. We have can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, because
You had a little glitch right there for a minute.
You're right. There was a big glitch there and everything, but something happened. I don't know what the heck happened, but there was a glitch. Maybe somebody's out there and they don't want to hear what we got to say. So they they might be hijacking our feed. Because it certainly was a glitch, man. It just went blank for about a second, and then everything came back on. I don't know why, but that's what the heck happened. So hopefully nobody's out there, Ted, hijacking our feed here. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway.
Well, we're going to use a code. We're going to use a code name. 45.
Okay.
Or 47.
That's your code name. My code name is the criminal. I'm gonna
Okay,
I'm gonna continue to say the criminal because that's what he
okay.
is. I won't call him anything else but the criminal. The criminal going to the White House. Uh, but like I said, I my focus that and yes, we can think about what the heck he's planning on doing, but I'm gonna focus on what I want to do and stuff going into 2025. And whatever he does, they have a word out there for this. Great leaders adjust. Great leaders adjust. You want to be great, you're going to have to adjust to whatever happens and stuff out there. Because if you can adjust to the to what's going on and what's happening and the things that are going on around you, and you still standing up there strong, and you see somebody doing something out there, and you say, "Oh, okay, I'm going to have to adjust how they done what has happened." Because whatever he does and stuff, he's the president of the United States, man. And if he farts, it's going to affect this whole world. So
Yeah.
I can imagine, man, what our friends and our out there who have been looking to this country as a beacon. What are they thinking? What's going on in their mind? You don't hear anything about what's going on in their minds and what's happening and stuff with them. There's nobody saying anything. Did you see, man, the ICC or whatever it is, International Criminal
Oh
thing,
yeah.
put out a
Yeah. I
warrant
read the
for
article.
BB?
Yeah.
Well, what's that about? that oh, they trying to scare him? You think they're trying to scare him?
Well,
It's not gonna mean anything because
he didn't show up for the G20.
okay,
That was evident, and nor did Putin.
okay.
So there was a reason for that,
And what
because I
was
think they even have Putin. I don't think they got him for arrest, but and they might have already. I don't know.
well, I knew that Putin and stuff. He hasn't left outside the boundaries of Russia because he's afraid that somebody's going to do something to him, going to arrest him. But I didn't know that it was the same thing going to happen with old BB. Maybe
Well,
you think that that's their strategy and everything. Well, we're going to arrest all those folks who ain't listening to us.
well, NATO, is a strong organization. They got a number of countries, but like we've already been talking about for the last month and a half, Brit, they got a number of countries now too, and they're building. So they're getting all of these poor countries and some major countries together so that their currency can be different from the United States. They don't have to rely on the dollar. And and the one thing that seems to be really taking off is Bitcoin,
Hmm.
cyber currency, and there's hundreds of them now that's out there. And like I said, when you see BlackRock start their own, and
Well,
they work what 10 trillion
yeah,
under their
well,
management.
I seen that Citicorp did the same thing about 2 years ago. They started, but they wasn't real big. They just said we're going to get into it. But that might have something to do with what's going on out there, Ted, and what they think about that. They don't want to rely upon the U.S. dollar anymore. Could be.
Well, because number one, think about this: the major hub of finance is at Wall Street.
Right.
Now, any given day, they're transferring $25 trillion back and forth. People, money coming in, money going out, all over the world. You got all of these countries now that's into the market. Now, but then besides that, now you got the Bitcoin. People are putting their money in the Bitcoin because Bitcoin now is like, one of the Bitcoins is like $100,000 a coin.
Depending on
So,
which one it is, because there's a lot of different Bitcoins
well, I
out
don't
there.
really know the name because
Yeah.
I don't really believe in it. You know, because I don't know what they're doing with my money. If I buy,
Hey, well, you still old school, Ted. You got to have them greenbacks in your hand, or you want to put your money in a bag and bury it in the backyard. Huh?
if I give you $100,000, what you doing with that $100,000? I got a piece of a coin.
Yeah.
I got a
Yeah.
piece of a coin.
Right, and it's sitting on
you
the
know,
computer screen.
yeah, on the computer screen.
Sitting on the computer screen.
So, and
Now,
nobody really knows who's controlling these things, you know, and what have you. Now, the government has been investigating, and they've even arrested a few people regarding because they have did wire fraud and all that, because they're putting their money somewhere.
yeah, that's fine.
And
Now,
people are constantly buying. It's just like when you have, and we talked about this, when you have a big retirement company like a U.S. Postal Service or any major, a lot of these companies got their own retirement plans, and they have to put their money somewhere. So they go through the stock market. They have a money manager take care of it and invest their money so it can grow for their workers.
right. Well,
And
what about these teachers unions?
yeah,
They
all
got
of
they
those
got
people.
they
I'm
got
talking
they,
about all
the
those
teachers
types
union
of,
got a lot. Those teachers got a lot of money, man, and they're
and
in the
they
money
put in
markets in
it. They
Wall
put
Street.
in it every month.
Right. Got a lot of money going in there. A
So
lot of money.
you know, playing the market is one thing because you're buying shares because of that company. That company is the one that's going to grow financially.
So if you had a choice, would you invest your money in the stock or Bitcoin?
Well, it would have to be a diversified stocks.
So
I
you
would,
would put your money into the stock instead of into that Bitcoin.
right.
Okay.
As long as the
But
companies that I have are viable, you know. And like I said, we named the Magnificent Seven yesterday,
right.
and everybody's putting their money into it, and you can see that their stock is growing, and they're being very innovative, and you know they're producing what they produce. They got a lot of revenue coming in. Although Google, you know, their revenue sort of kind of shut down a little bit because they're not the big boys on the block now.
Well, they're also involved in some Department of Justice lawsuits and everything to break them down a little bit. They done got into that legal fight.
Yeah.
They want them to release to sell off Chrome, their browser and stuff and everything to some other company, and they're trying to force them to do that. So they in some battles, and then they over there in Europe, European Union and stuff and everything. They over there battling them about security and safety and everything and stuff, and they're inside their company, so they got a lot of legal stuff going on, and that's probably what's holding them back. People don't know how much money that they're going to lose because they got the
Well,
possibilities of losing billions of
you
dollars.
know, Ed, you know that this is not these big corporations' first rodeo
We know.
because you know Microsoft went through it.
Yep.
I don't know if Amazon went through it,
Not yet, but they
but it's
probably will.
another company that Microsoft and Apple. So these companies know how to skirt around it, pay the right people, and then they come out smelling like a rose.
Right, but then there's also a lull in the trading of their stocks and stuff while this is going
Right.
on because you still got some people out there who are afraid that they're gonna break up. Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. So you would
So
buy stock before you would buy Bitcoin.
yes.
Okay.
For right now, yeah, but the government is getting into it too as well. So that's the reason why the guy that who was one of the presidents or used to be the president of Google. He retired. I can't think of his name right offhand, but
I know you're talking about.
he was
I
in
know
the
you're talking
White
about.
House.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Go ahead.
He was in the White House.
Right.
I mean, he was right there for several years because him and Kissinger wrote one of the first books on AI. So it's a lot of stuff, bro, because that AI is changing the whole makeup of stuff.
It is, and that's the reason why NVIDIA has went from an unknown company out there in Australia, wherever they're, either Australia or New Zealand, where they at. I think it's Australia, New Zealand. That's where they from. Their stock is number one, number one company in the world now, and it came from nowhere. Ooh, passed all the biggies up.
But they've been around for years.
Yeah, but nobody knew about them. So those are things and stuff that really are the unknown and stuff out there in the stock market, and that's why I'm afraid of it. I just can't. I don't know what it is, but I just can't put my money in the daggone stock market, man.
Well,
I get
here's the
scared.
thing: is that, and I'm gonna switch gears here. I don't know if you might have heard of this, the leading economic indicators.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's actually called leading economic index.
Mm-hmm.
They call it the LEI. And according to this senior manager for a certain company, he's on the conference board of these big indicators, and they've been doing this stuff for years, keeping up with all the data and what have you. He was saying that this is the largest negative contributor in manufacturing. And what it is that he gets the data and says that 11 out of 14 of these manufacturing sectors, the different sectors of manufacturing, is very weak. The manufacturing in this country is very weak.
Okay.
And we did some stuff on that regarding saying that they were lacking over 1 million workers, because they can't hire people because these people don't have the skills or the qualifications. You can train people and what have you, but there's so much involved with this new technology and all of these robots and manufacturing and what have you. They have to bring up. That's the reason why these companies get these outside foreign people.
They don't have any choice if they don't have any people and stuff who can do the job.
And
Then you
that's
have
the
to find
problem.
somebody who can do the job, and if you have to go outside this country to find people who are qualified,
That's the problem.
so then I think we're back to where I talked about before. We have dummied down our population. We done dummied them down. They so dumb that they can't qualify for these jobs nowadays. So, like I said, if I'm those equity managers, investment folks, and stuff and everything. I think that they would be best spent investing their money in education. If you go to if the people that are being born here in this country and they're going to our educational institutions and they are not being trained for the jobs that we have right now or going to have in the future, where it's going to lead us.
Well, this is what we've been talking about for years.
Right. You got to educate our folks. So
The problem is that, well, I don't want to get into all the nuances of it because we already know, the racial disparities and all of that, and not really, the lack of funding, real funding in certain communities. And, because of discrimination, prejudice, racism, cronyism, all of those factors are involved. The trained people or kids, you have to really get them engaged in what is new. And in our schools, Black schools I'm talking about, they don't do that because it's too much drama and trauma in our communities. Too much drama, chaos. Everybody's got problems. So many young kids got problems. One parent, don't mean that one parent can't raise your children correctly, but the bottom line is that when you don't have the nucleus or support system that you need, and you don't have to have be two parents, but you have to have the support, the community support, because there's a lot of smart young kids out there that want to learn and want to do stuff. And those people usually rise to the top. And people can recognize that, and then they end up either because they're getting good grades, but they're not really teaching them, they're getting the good grades in the history and the English and maybe the lower level math, algebra 1, algebra 2, and maybe trigonometry and what have you. But by the time, calculus, man, some of these people in other countries, man, they're teaching calculus while you're in 8th grade. So by the time they get to high school, they're learning far advanced math. So the point is, and then they have different projects to stimulate them, the reason why you have to have math. So when you don't train people and you don't let them know and really break it down to these people and what have you to do that, that's what happens. And then you have people that, when you got all that trauma and you got that drama in our communities, and, that's the reason why a lot of us move to the suburbs, because the schools are better for those of us or those people that can afford it. And then you have others of us send our kids to private school for those of us who can afford it, because they're gonna teach you all the nuances of preparing yourself for all the things that you're going to be challenged with when you get to college.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be ready. And then when you start taking those advanced courses and classes, that's going to be second fiddle to you, because you're thinking of hey, what can I make? What can I do? What can I create? That's what you're going to be thinking about once you get to college.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't going to be thinking about trying to make it through college. That's the easy part. So anyway,
Making
think of,
education a top priority.
well, I mean, one of the
Make
things what we
education
decided
a
is,
top priority.
one of the things that we decided, instead of being a revolutionary, we started to be, we wanted to be, you know, really get involved in the educational system, and that was one of the things. But the thing is, education has to, the education has to keep up with what's going on in the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, being a doctor is a whole different thing. That's a different animal. You want to be a medical doctor, you want to be a nurse. That's a whole different genre of study. But I'm talking about when you're talking about, you know, when you go to college, you don't want to be sitting up here doing no mediocre work, being a janitor or being a clerk or being in customer service. You want to be doing something that is creating things. That's why you go to college, because you want to create. You want to be able to make stuff. You want to be able to come up with different ideas so that you can use your brain. So and that's not happening with all of, like you said, dumbing down.
Mm-hmm.
What do these people want to do now? All these kids want to do now is play. All they want to do is play games. Play games.
We got to change that attitude there.
But anyway,
go ahead. You got something else you want to say?
Well, I like to keep up with the world.
Oh, I know. Go ahead.
Brazil.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a thing on Brazil next time. I've been checking out Brazil because since they did the G20, the ex or the former president tried to assassinate the president.
The present president.
Yeah.
When did he do this?
I don't have the dates, but they have put an order of arrest
for the past president.
Yes. Oh. They called it accused in a coup plot. He's accused in a coup plot. And they're going to arrest over 1,000 people, like that insurrection that we had over here. And the current president said, and I'm quoting, "I have to be very thankful to be alive." That's how close they came to killing him, bro.
Oh, man.
This right here, and the guy that tried to kill him, the past president, they labeled him as a conservative.
Oh, wow. Well, my wife told me the other day that somebody put out, CNN put out a report saying that the criminal was never shot. He never got shot.
Oh, I never believed they would shot him.
Doing that, when he was when he had that Band-Aid on his ear, he running around with a Band-Aid on his ear. They said he never got shot. The bullet never touched him.
Boy, he got shot.
That old criminal's a mess, ain't he?
He a mess, bro.
He got everybody believing he been shot. He told him, yeah, they done shot me. And he got a Band-Aid on his ear. And 2 weeks later, he take it off. And he ain't got no scar, no nothing. He's a mess. Oh, we got to put it with that rascal for 4 years.
You know hey, the investigating reporting in this country is a shame.
It is.
It's a
Nobody
shame.
nobody wants to put in the effort, Ted, to really do a good job in investigating anything, because I think what it is that these major newspapers and stuff now, they are so geared towards sensationalism that they don't invest in allowing their writers or their news people and stuff to spend the time it takes and stuff to do an extensive investigation. And that's probably one of the things why 60 Minutes became so popular for so long, because when 60 Minutes came on Sunday, you know that they had did some extensive investigation into their topics, and they're not doing that now. Nobody wants to investigate that, don't to take that time to investigate things that are going on. It's not something that they think is really worth their time, I guess. I don't know. Everybody wants that sensational news. That, oh man, I'm gonna beat them to the punch here. I'm gonna get this news out here right now. But we need to do something about that. We need to start investigating things and stuff, and do a good job and stuff in doing it, and assign people to do it, and don't take them off of their assignment and everything and move them someplace else because some sensation came about. Leave them to do their job, because that's where those Pulitzer Prize winners and stuff come from. Those folks and stuff who go out there and they do an investigative assignment. They do a good job and stuff with it, and they get nominated for Pulitzers. Why aren't we doing it? I don't know.
For the money, bro, for the sensation, for the clicks,
But
for
it's
the
money,
views.
but it's money in it. If I'm the publisher or the editor of a newspaper or a major publication, there is money in that. It's just that you got to wait a little bit longer to get it. Because if one of my writers gets a Pulitzer Prize for a job that he took 2 years and stuff to do, or a year to do, that Pulitzer Prize, man, it's a lot of money and stuff to any newspaper or any media outlet. Our person and stuff was nominated for Pulitzer Prize for what they did. That's money. A lot of money.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna tell you, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now. The advertisers have power. And when I say advertisers, I'm talking about these CEOs and these major corporations. They will go to a story in these news corporations and they'll tell you something, but they don't finish it. They'll just tell you what happened. The who, what, where, when. But what about the why? What about the why? And I'm going to use you just mentioned a story. What was the why behind that boy that supposedly claimed and got killed, that's supposed to have shot 45? What about his family? Have anybody investigated his family?
Nope, nobody investigated his family. They
Do
haven't
we
said a word about
know
it.
that?
Once they killed their boy, it seemed like everything was all over with Ted. Nobody thought about him no more. Once they killed him, it was all over.
They put the story out that he was a loner. Nobody really knew him that much at school. He was supposed to have been a fairly smart kid, and he was with BlackRock for a minute. Went to some kind of conference and all that stuff. But nobody talked about their parents. Nobody talked about, and he was living at home, wasn't he? He wasn't by himself. So
Nope, he
therefore,
wasn't.
something was going on in their house. Now, I don't know if this was a make believe or a lie or what, but they claim that his parents in their house had a tunnel full of weapons, full of weapons in their house. You can go in their house and then you can go into a tunnel and they're full of weapons. Nobody talked about that. Is that true? We
I,
don't know. See, the
well,
thing is that it's almost like people tell, when sensational things happen, boom, 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 boom. It lasts for a day, 2 days, 3 days, then it's over.
my theory and stuff to this whole thing, Ted, is that yes, that was a put on show for sympathy for the candidate who was the criminal. They put that show on for him. And if there was an investigation and stuff done on it, an extensive one done on it, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a whole lot of ugly things that's going to come out of that investigation. But I do believe in stuff that all those people and stuff, Ted, were out there. They were getting ready for a big, huge riot in this country. If 40, if the criminal had not been elected, there was going to be a huge fight in this country. So by him being elected and stuff now, we avoided a lot of chaos. A lot of chaos. Because there was going to be some chaos. I'm telling you, they were getting ready for a huge chaos there because they had these people were were gathering up weapons and everything. That's why they if look at Trump, he wasn't really excited about anything. And I think he was just totally shocked that he had won. He was shocked because he had something else planned. And it wasn't anything that's going to be peaceful. So we probably avoided a big disaster in this country by uh, him go ahead and winning that election. We avoided something. I believe we did. Now, a lot of people don't, but I believe we avoided a big mess and stuff by him.
Well, that was my thinking too,
Yeah,
because that was the whole, woofing. A lot of woofing was going on regarding that. A lot of woofing. So, but now here's the thing: is what's happening is now because they have allowed this man to get back in the White House.
okay.
Now, according to some of these people, they got guardrails.
Right.
That's what they claim they got.
Yeah, they do.
So we'll see.
I believe they do. I believe they got some guardrails coming up. Because he, and I keep saying that this is probably going to happen, and I'm hoping that come January 2026 that I have been right. That those guardrails are there, and he's going to destroy some things, but it won't be something that is devastating to our country. And that there are people and stuff out there who are ready and willing and able to put themselves out there to stop him. They'll say, "You can't do this." I see right now that he is trying to fire his lawyers and stuff who were in that case with him with the Jack Smith, and I don't believe he really actually knows what the heck he's doing. I don't believe he knows what he's doing. I think he's just out there and he just flapping around and stuff, and he just hoping things turn out the way that they wanted to be in
Well,
his
you heard
favor.
about the judge. The judge already dropped the case.
He didn't
Practically
drop
dropped.
the he didn't drop it. He just said he was going to postpone it,
Well, that's
according to what
fine.
I done read.
Yeah, well, you right. I mean, as far as I'm
He
concerned, he dropped
postponed
the
it.
case because what
Yeah,
they're
he
gonna do is
postponed
they're
it.
gonna tell them to throw it out, and that's what they're
Well,
gonna do. They're gonna just throw it out.
it's a state case, though. I don't know. Now, if it's a federal case, yeah, he can probably do that, but it's a state case, not a federal case. Something's going to happen with that, Ted. Something's going to happen with that case, Ted. And I don't believe that they can really push that thing aside. He's going to try, but I don't believe he's going to be able to push that thing aside because it's a state case. It's not federal. If it was a federal, yep, I believe he could throw that stuff aside. They ain't going to do anything with it. It'll be gone. But those state cases and stuff and everything, I don't know if he's got that power and stuff yet to move those state cases out. Now he might be able to do it down here in Georgia because they got that Republican governor down here, but they got a Democratic governor up there in New York, and I don't believe he's going to be able to throw that case out. Plus, they got the one with that the Attorney General there in New York had filed and everything, and he owes that money because he was, I guess he filed an appeal and stuff with it and everything. So we'll see what the heck happened with that. He got a judgment against him and stuff for it, so we will see. And it's a state case. Maybe somebody go ahead and pay the daggone fine and stuff and be done with it. I don't know. Anyway, I want to be proactive. I want to be proactive. I want us to be proactive and stuff to decide what we need to tell our viewers what they need to start doing.
Okay, I'm listening.
I do. I'm gonna sleep on this one just a little bit longer, and I'm gonna be very interested in hearing about Brazil. But I think I don't know if you're gonna do it, but I think I'm gonna start doing some research on Germany. They're gonna be a very interesting country, I believe, and they're gonna have a lot to do with what the heck happens these next 4 years.
Why you say that?
I believe that Germany and stuff right now is the country and stuff to watch. I don't look at that. I'm not looking at England because England has still got a little turmoil and stuff going over there. But Germany and stuff is quietly and stuff instilling their culture and stuff in a lot of those countries and stuff that are surrounding them. And they have a lot invested in those other countries and stuff that are surrounding them. And I do believe and stuff that war in Ukraine and stuff is something that they want to deal with, and they quietly are trying to do something about what's going on there. And they are probably the driving force and stuff behind that warrant that they put out on Putin and Netanyahu. Anyway, that's my thinking about it. But I'm gonna give some more information tomorrow and stuff because tonight after we get off air, I'm gonna start doing my little Germany research while you are telling us about Brazil. Because guess what, man? I've been wanting to visit Brazil for about 3 years now. I heard it's a very interesting place, and man, it says they got a lot going on down there, a lot, and they also have a lot of black folks who are down there who speaks Portuguese.
Yeah, well, that's one of the countries, when the ships broke down, they went.
That's where they floated to, huh? I dropped a few of them off there.
And Brazil made a lot of money too, bro.
Oh yeah, well, I had some friends and stuff there who've been down to Brazil, and they talk about going back again because they love it down there.
Yeah, they got some cities there that's pretty wild.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Rio is. I was told that they have a Mardi Gras down there in Rio that makes New Orleans look like a baby. Yeah, very interesting country. Want to hear about it. Looking forward to hearing about it, and I'm gonna like I said, I'm going to do a little bit on Germany and stuff and see what's going on with them because I think that they're going to be a very interesting country and stuff right now. They're going to become
Well,
very
the
very
the
very
one
important.
thing the one thing that I would like for our few listeners that are listening, and you should help us out and click on the like button and subscribe. The thing is that one of our goals is to connect the nations that is doing things that we don't even know about. We
Hmm.
just get a top surface of it because you can read articles, you can do your research, and you can get all the data and all that, but we don't know all the underlying things that's happening in these countries. You know, you can go by their oligarchs, you know, the billionaires and the millionaires, what they're doing and how they're using their money to grow their own country and invest in other countries to make more money. You can see how many people that are nationality that are here, and then they're making a lot of money here and doing things as well to grow their nationality here, to be politically strong here,
Hmm.
because everything here in the United States is politics.
Hmm.
Because we have freedom to march, freedom to protest, freedom to contact your representative, organize, you know, get 5,000 people. And if a congressman see you guys, I'm getting 5,000 calls from these Lithuanians or whoever,
Hmm.
then they panic and say, I got to do something. I just got 10,000 calls from so and so, so and so.
Hmm.
And they respond. That's the game. They learned that from us. Marching, protesting, all of those things. So, and then their main thing is they can always go home. They can always go home. So they have a country. A lot of these people are not really steeped and dived in this country, but a lot of them are. Some of them, you know, they're third and fourth generation. People from Ireland, you know, even, you know, you have some Europeans, what we call Watts type people. You know, their great grandfather was from Europe. So so the thing is, you know, you got to connect. But the
Hmm.
thing is that when you can, to me, if you connect all of these people, but then you go right back to the black people, what we call is the foundational black Americans, what are we doing?
Mm.
We don't have a country, bro. Only country we got is right here.
Right here.
You
Right
know,
here.
we can run and say, I'm going to Mexico, or I'm going to Colombia, or I'm going to Ireland, or I'm going to some other part of Africa where I've never been and heard of or nothing.
But we always going to come right back here.
We right? This is where this is us right here. This is our country.
Yeah, we what? So some of us are fifth, sixth, seventh generations and
Yeah,
stuff
I
over
could go
here.
back as far as five generations, and I'm
Right.
still trying to find my sixth.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, bro, that there's a issue with us
Yeah.
because you know I don't want to prolong this, but this is the thing, and this is nothing against my Jamaican people, my Caribbean people, but see, they got a history back there. They know where their great grandfathers what happened during that time. So they got a country. They got a country. So this is our country. Now they are Americans, ain't no question about it, because all you gotta do is put your hand over your heart and raise your hand and answer a few questions. But did you live how our people lived to get where this country is now? That is the question. There are people that were in the civil rights movement that are from other countries that happen to be black and brown and what have you. But the majority of the people that fought those fights were black people. The fight of freedom. And I mean total freedom. The one thing that, all the readings that I've done through the years, and I would even come out of my mouth talking about I'm a scholar or I'm an academia or anything like that, but I have read a lot. And the one thing that I learned from Martin Luther King is that if one person ain't free, ain't none of us free. That was his motto, hey, it's all about being free. And that was including these so-called movements of the LGBTQ people and all the disabled people, all the brown people, all the black people, all the whoever. He was about total freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And people being civil. That's what civil rights is. Civil rights is being civil and having your rights, being treated justly, not because of the color of your skin. So that's, I'm just saying, to me, that's why we do this. This is what the reason why I do it. I do it because, hey, this is about, to me, is about freedom. But then you have countries that want power. They want to take over things. They want to run your life. And I'm gonna be quiet right here because I can still keep talking, but I'm gonna be quiet right here because
No,
I'm just saying, there's some stuff that's going on that a lot of people just don't even know. They don't realize, man, what is going on in this world. They don't know. And I only know like 5% of it or 10% of it, if that. There's so much stuff going on, bro, that, because when you got money flying all over the place, bro, and people doing, they negotiating and they collaborating and all that kind of stuff.
I don't think that a large segment and stuff, Ted, of our community understands that $25 trillion is being transacted in New York on a stock exchange almost every day. And they can't fathom that. It's beyond their belief. So I don't know what to say to them, but it's it speaks very loudly and stuff about power and stuff that we have and stuff in that country. But that power is not, and the wealth is not being shared and stuff by the folks and stuff who are down there. And I keep saying I have a conversation and stuff with my wife a lot of times in the morning and have coffee and stuff, and we just prophesize on stuff on a lot of things. And as we drive around this this city of Atlanta and all the suburbs and stuff around there, you drive through one area and you can almost see the wealth in just one little section, and then you just keep driving and stuff, and then you can see, look at the environment around, and you can tell, oh, these people ain't got very much money over here. So, and then you drive into another area and stuff and everything, and you say, man, this is all right here. These people's all right. But the one thing that is prevalent to all this thing, and how from World War II all the way up until maybe 10 years ago and stuff, we prospered because of one thing, and that was the middle class. Go back and look. After World War II, the middle class started doing a whole bunch of stuff, and this country survived because of that. We became powerful because of the middle class, and we are slowly losing that middle class.
Oh, we just
And
lost them.
we ain't lost it completely. It's still some middle class folks and stuff there. It's just shrinking. It's shrinking. And we can't lose that middle class. We have to keep that middle class going. There's going to be some
See,
poor
now
folks.
you done
There's
started
going to be a
off.
lot
You
of
done
rich
opened
people.
up a whole can of worms, bro. You have opened up a whole can of worms. Go ahead, Ed. Go ahead.
Well,
Because I ain't going to go off on that.
I'm gonna put that down as part of our agenda item for next time. The middle class.
That's a whole can of worms there, bro.
Anyway, final word, Ted.
Well, I'm hoping that when people, we want to have people think, want you to think on different things and topics, not just about what P. Diddy is doing. And God bless T. Diddy. You know, I mean, he did his best and he just had a little issue of certain things, but he was doing his thing. He was making his money. And so on and so forth. I can go a dozen more people. But I'm just saying that to me, it's more important to know what's going around you, to be aware of what things are happening that's going to affect your life. 99% of us can't live like P. Diddy. Riding around in yachts and private airplanes and, you know, whatever else he does and got. But the bottom line is that, you know, he's living his life. He was living his life. The point is, you need to live your life, and to live your life, you know, of course, you have to have some type of profession or job and, you know, those kind of things. But you should be aware what's going on in your location, in your neighborhood, in your community, in your state. Because everything will affect you. Anything that happens to your neighbor across the street or down the street is going to affect you. You can say, oh, I'm doing fine. You know, everything is wonderful. You know, the hurricane didn't hit me or the earthquake didn't hit me. I'm doing just fine. Everything is going to affect you. I'm going to use an example. Hurricane Katrina. That affected the whole country.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those people had to be transitioned out of there. So I'm just saying, everything affects us. And so therefore, you should get engaged. That's all I'm saying. Get engaged. If you can't get engaged, get knowledgeable so that you'll be aware. That's all I'm saying. That's all I got to say. Just be aware of what's going on around you.
My final word and stuff today in this particular session and stuff is that I'm the uh the hurt and the pain and stuff from uh November the 5th, it's slowly going, it's going away and stuff now, and I'm revived. I'm got myself, and I'm getting some spine. I'm getting some courage. I'm building my courage up, everything now because I was dejected for a long time here, Ted. I'm telling you, I was dejected. But I want to thank, and I don't know if Kamala did this or not. I'm pretty sure she probably did. But I want to thank all those brothers and sisters and all the people and stuff and everything who got up there and supported my sister. I want to thank them. I want to thank Barack. I want to thank Michelle. I want to thank Beyonce, all those folks and stuff and everything who got up there and they did their thing. I want to thank Oprah and stuff for standing up there. I want to thank Magic Johnson for giving up his time and his effort. I want to thank all of them and stuff for what they did. And if any one of them thinks that what they did and stuff and everything was for naught or for something bad or what the heck ever happened. It's not. What you guys did and stuff was tremendous and it was well worth you guys' effort. It was well worth because we learned something during that time. Anytime you have something happen and it doesn't go your way, you learn from it. So take those lessons that you had and stuff there because we're not going to give up and say, well, we're not going to bring another woman of color or another woman and stuff out there and stuff to try to put that person and stuff back up there into that White House. We just going to have to keep on moving forward. And I'm hoping that all of those people who gave their time and their effort up and everything to help this sister get elected and stuff, that they keep on going. And I'm proud of all of you guys. Very proud. Very proud of my people. That's all I got to say.
Sounds good.
Okay. We shall see you folks and stuff tomorrow. Bye.